Welcome, Capricorn. Okay, let's get some messages for you here for July. All right, so let's see here. So you have the Earth, very fitting. You have Scorpio, Air, Pluto, Cardinal, Mars, Libra, Pisces, and Mercury. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so what I see for you here is that there's a bit of a rebuilding of sorts happening, of your foundation, right? I see that there has been, the energy has been a little bit intense and a little bit deep, and a little bit flexible, but mostly there's just been almost like a routine or a schedule that has been the way it's been. And like I said, there's been a little bit of flexibility there, but for the most part, it's been pretty structured in the way that it's been. And I see there being almost like an adjustment happening here, a bit of a starting of communication, of things needing to shift a little bit, things needing to be a little bit more balanced, a little bit more fair. And within this, and then also just compassion around all of that as well from both sides of the parties, or all parties that are involved here. But there, I feel like once this happens, once these conversations start taking place, and once you start seeing small things implemented, then this harmony will come about. Things will be a little bit more in flow. They will seem a little bit lighter, not so as intense or heavy, because things will be divvied up a little bit more equally, a little bit more fair, or at least to your understanding of what fair is, or what you think should be happening. So, I think this is something, it's very slow. I just feel like this is something that, right now it's more so conversations and maybe small steps you might start seeing happening in July, but it's more so just the conversations taking place of, there needing to be a little bit more of a shift. And then also just sorting out, small factors or things. So for example, say for instance, you had a baby and that you've been home, and now you're kind of getting ready to go back to work. And so, there might just be conversations about, daycare, or, who's going to be watching the baby, or who's going to be able to pick the baby up from daycare, or, work hours and things like that, right? I just feel like there's this shuffle of sorts happening of roles and responsibilities, and just having to sort out the fine details. And again, this isn't super heavy, or super serious, but at the same time, it's just something that can't be ignored, if that makes sense. It's just these conversations are going to come into place, and maybe start scouting out ideas and contacting places and things like that. I just feel like it's just that kind of energy. It's just the initial workings, if you will, and within that, just follow your intuition with what you're feeling, what you're sensing, for one, and for two, just have some compassion, allow things to kind of slowly develop. Don't rush things or be I need this now, I need to figure this out now, because I feel like when you push too much like that, when the energy is too intense and it doesn't allow it for it to organically kind of come about, then you're just kind of almost creating more tension, more friction for yourself versus just, kind of putting it out there, setting some feelers out there, making some phone calls, just really sussing out places and the energy and the environment, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to. So no matter how much stress or worry you put behind it isn't going to make the situation come about faster or better. It could actually just cause some roadblocks for you. So really, just like I said, just have that almost stepping away, allowing emotion to be out of this while you're doing the juggling and sorting part, and allowing things to just kind of, like I said, organically come about and fall into place how they're supposed to, but having a little bit of that disconnectedness from it, even though you're so connected to the outcome of this situation, just allowing it to come about from a bit of a disconnect, as if you're an outsider looking in on the situation, not so much as one of the members in the situation, if that makes sense. So this is your reading for July, Capricorn, and I will see you in the next reading.